Glace Bay and coal mining. Glace Bay and coal mining. Consider. Nearly impossible to say one without the other. Glace Bay and coal mining have traveled a lot of dusty roads together. They share a legacy for more than 150 years, unequaled by any people at any place at any time. There was not a time, not that long ago, when you would not dare separate the two entities in any discussion, especially in local settings, for fear of risking life and limb. Glace Bay and coal mining. Coal mining and Glace Bay. We will step carefully around the subject, primarily because of its relevance to our enduring culture, its history, its livelihood, and not to mention the price our forefathers and others have paid during the long and turbulent years of pain and sacrifice. So much of our current aging population, including the very last generation of proud and accomplished coal miners, are now well into the twilight stages of their boomer years. And in addition to the many post-war period miners, they make up, without their families and with their families, the largest portion of our local population. Overall, even in today's much reduced total population, being half its one-time peak of nearly 30,000 during the early 60s, Glace Bay still symbolically was and is coal town to the masses. Not only here locally, but countrywide. Always mindful that coal is who we are, who we have evolved through, and the relevant cost there was to our predecessors in making it here in Glace Bay. Should it not be that our cause, then, is to heartily celebrate those actions? Do we, in our time of place, now in the year approaching 2014, have the wherewithal to demonstrate our thanks for each and every pound of picked and shoveled coal from the tunnels and shafts of our coal mining heritage, and play that forward into one huge festival of tribute in the summer of the coming year 2014? I believe, based on solid research, that wide, very wide interest is abundant and far-reaching with regards to a specifically developed plan to recreate our past for a homecoming celebration in the summer of 2014, tentatively coined, without prejudice, the Coal Town Classic Reunion Festival. Through social media, past events, current interest, and the wide impact that all things boomer are magnetic, it is loud and clear that many thousands of boomer generation and retirees all over Canada and beyond, locally as well as expatriates to our hometown, yearn for times and events such as this to return to their roots to celebrate. I need only point to 2010, when in just a few months of reconnecting old friends and contacts through the power of social networking of Facebook, a reunion was designed to celebrate old friendships from the school years of the 60s and early 70s and resulted in the, in brackets, St. Paul's Fence Folks Reunion, with sellout crowds, large-scale economic impact throughout the entire town of Glace Bay and beyond, and a quest for more and better events to come. The Fence Folks reunion also clearly provided to us, to you, the collective mindset that gathering together in a homegrown program of boomer age reflectionism, I kind of like that one myself, is high on the charts of the majority of Glace Bay born and raised kinfolk. Paying tribute to the past via the present is paramount to having one hell of a good time home in the Bay while we are able and healthy, and it is widely craved by the majority of that genre and beyond. With wide and inclusive participation by all sectors of the Glace Bay business, social, cultural, historical, and general interest groups, a rejuvenated festival of celebration honoring and paying tribute to coal and coal miners is warranted and deserved. For more than a century, the people of Glace Bay soulfully sacrificed to the utmost degree. Yet, as they toiled and pushed forward, they did so with the hope and determination, all the while proudly personifying the place of their birth. They raised the town of Glace Bay up to the best that it could be. From the solidarity of their purpose, as deep and as abundant as the king coal itself, their pride is the epitome of their existence. And the shadow in which we now find cover is ours to reflect onward to others who come after us. In our efforts and acceptance to maintain that respect, it is incumbent upon us to reconnect to that core of strength of the past, embrace it, move it forward, and relight the magic that power of coal has given us to grow. To reignite that fire, we must return the coal and its historied past to the surface. In my process of thought, I believe the next and first step is to obtain a consensus on whether or not all of the components of making such a comeback to coal celebration is not only out there, but more importantly, are those entities willing to climb aboard the coal train of the past, and be open to getting a bit of coal dust in their eyes and riding the rails into a summer celebration in 2014, a celebration like never before. From my perspective as a one-time railway worker, collector of historical data, organizer, and writer, I have seen firsthand, and I have witnessed, that with solid organization, long-term planning, and proud support by community interests, high levels of achievement are very, very possible. Proposing such a festival is part one of the process. Developing and planning the events, coordinating and connecting the key players on all facets and sectors, and piecing together the framework is equally challenging. Raising awareness, creating high interest, spreading the word, and heightening the senses of the peoples and groups from community, business, cultural, historical, and neighborhoods are also very significant and critical to achieving a common goal for the overall success of such a new and wonderful undertaking. To create and construct a new brand of homecoming festivities would need to involve each and every neighborhood, their organizations, all generations, young and old, and input from every possible element of the Glace Bay fabric, inclusive and open to all. Concentrating on the key subject of renewing and rejuvenating the role that coal and the coal mining in and around Glace Bay played in our past, and celebrating all that we have come to know as our successes and, sadly, at times, our failures and sorrows. We once again take that enriched heritage and place it front and center for a week-long tribute from Bridgeport to Old Broadway, number 2 to number 6, number 11 to South Street, from Chapel Hill to the harbor, and from every rail spur, coal car, pan shovel, and all to the Miners' Forum, St. Paul's Fence, any bootleggers to the shores of anywhere in town, we should surely take this important step to once again put the beginning of our past up high where we all can see it, live it, feel it. It is who we are, and we should be damn proud of it. So let's just burn it once again. Glace Bay and the coal mining. Coal mining and Glace Bay. You get it. Here but be some of the magnificent subjects of that may be considered and expanded in the process of formulating the 2014 Coal Town Classic Reunion Festival. The miners and their families, the miners and their neighborhoods, the stories and the realities, the town and its vibrance, the sports and the camaraderies, the talents and the tapestries, the accomplishments and the tragedies, the history and the history makers, the educators and the spiritualists, the characters, and yes, the characters, the places, the times, the events, the locales, the medics, the medicines, the hospitals and health, the unions and the companies, the simple life, our tough life, the past, the times, the music, the words, the messages. I believe that we can once again restore to the people of Glace Bay the true sense of pride in our coal mining legacy, with a festival solely connected to and 100% oriented around our treasured history. The options for the types of events that would be of interest to groups and organizations would be open and varied, but all would be best directed towards the spirit of their inflection upon the role that coal and its legacy played for their part over the years and decades of the past. Celebrating coal and the power of the people and events that made our lives possible in Glace Bay and area for over a century would be our core. How each segment of our now community fabric decides to highlight their role in such a festival, I believe, will be the way to bring the entire community together. Challenging each other in the process of promoting the festival will be in total one of the highlights itself of the week-long event. Some ideas for celebration would include period dress competitions at local events in the neighborhoods, reenactments of particular events from our history past, daily and nightly entertainment in various centers all over the communities, breakfasts, lunches, teas, suppers, story sessions, book readings, talent socials, special events for seniors, shut-ins, elderly miners, their families, their friends, and everyone coming home for the event. One very unique and pre-summer series of events would be a songwriting and production contest, with the winning song taken from a series of pre-written lyrical stories to be the theme for the entire festival. Also, downtown displays, competitions for facade, flashback, street performance, carnival atmosphere everywhere, special attractions to bring folks to town. Once again, period costume, open houses at museums, stores, offices, businesses, and a total celebratory atmosphere all day during the week. The hoods, the neighborhoods, would have in their respective dwellings and fields and nightly entertainment, and then by the weekend, most of the core of attraction to nighttime activities could center in one location, closer to town, where concerts, bashes, and festivities would be licensed, controlled, and enjoyed. Many of the main infrastructures and amenities like the Savoy, the Bayplex, St. Anne's Perry Center, South Street Park, many of the other reclaimed mining facilities from all over Glace Bay and beyond would be able and hopefully be able to produce events parallel to the festival and be part of the overall celebration. The 2014 Coal Town Classic Reunion Festival. The concept of taking this proposed idea to the population of Glace Bay and to the Bay Bys all over Canada and beyond is a project that I feel is warranted, well manageable, and long since due. I would like to ask you for your response to the proposed concepts and obtain from you any form of consensus, differing opinions, and whether or not you and the organization and or business that you are connected to would be open to and favorable to supporting such a festival. In respect of the previous and current committees who have worked to produce Bay Days and other events and programs, I dare not overlook or ignore their dedication and tremendous involvement to fostering the yearly summer festival of which they are involved. Bay Days has been tremendous over the years. But as an organizer coming from outside that process, I would be open to the possibility of and connecting with the new and the old and working on plans that accommodated all interests all over Glace Bay with a common goal. The 2014 Coal Town Classic Reunion Festival is for now an idea in the planning stage and seeking the right support for continuation and inclusion. I, Joe McPherson, have taken the lead to submit this overview to many of the people in positions of decision making and planning, as well as to those who I feel would be open to and willing to consider this proposal as doable and would sit down in a forum to discuss it and be opening to make it work. Thank you for your time at the beginning of this journey. I am hopeful that you will at least take the first tour of our steam train journey to the celebratory past and be part of the return trip, which will see the 2014 Coal Town Classic Reunion Festival come to life. I, Joe McPherson, will be in touch with you via email or some other form of media in the very near future. Thank you for your time. I look forward to a full, open, understandable, and informative session whereby we can plan this strategy to its ultimate Coal Town Classic Reunion Festival 2014.